Welcome back to the Wedding Buzz. It's your host, Sydney, and today I am so excited to be joined by Malike from Curate Entertainment.
We're here. What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Thanks for having me, girl.
Of course, I'm so glad that we can make this happen. For those listening, he's not only a fantastic DJ, but he has built an outstanding entertainment company, Curate Entertainment, and I'm so excited to have him here. And I'm going to let him dive into details so I don't butcher it. But thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks to everybody for listening.
I have to mention, a few weeks ago, I saw that I met Haley Page, and then the next week I saw that you were doing her show in New York.
That's my
I was like,
girl.
no way!
That's my girl, man. That's the homie. Yeah, Haley Page is a rock star, man. And I've met her a couple of years back and heard her story. And I wasn't too big in the bridal fashion, on the dress side, but I learned about her story in Palm Beach and at a WIPA event. And then I was just obsessed. She was selling shoes at the time.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I'll buy one of these shoes. I just love you. And then, I've ran into her a couple of times, and then she hit me up for her show, and I was so excited for her to be back. Like, I was like, girl, I got you. So yeah, it was fun. New York Bridal Fashion Week was a legendary time. So.
And you should be into fashion. Your fits were incredible.
My accountants have told me to chill the hell out, but I can't. This is a part of the brand now. But I've been big in the fashion and style and taste, and I think that's what I incorporate into what I do as well. That's one of the things I think separates us a little bit. But yeah, I'm obsessed with. I'm originally from Brooklyn, and that's even where I get inspired musically. But if you ever go to New York and you just walk down the street, you just see a tapestry of fashion and style and colors and unique expressions of who people are. And so that's just what I do when I go to a wedding, and I try to match the design and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, big into fashion. So
No, that's so cool. You do a fantastic job. So I want to ask you, can you share a little bit about your passion for music and how how music and events began for you? What inspired you to
yeah.
get weddings and celebrations?
Yeah, it doesn't even start in music. Funny, it starts from elementary school. In my class, I can't sit my ass down in a classroom. Teacher is annoyed, kicks me out the class, calls my mom. Mom's got to pick me up every week at some point. And it comes from this, like, now I know is neurodivergent brain activity.
Same.
um, Mixed with a deep cultural sense of style and fashion and musical taste growing up in New York. I lived in Brooklyn, I lived in Jamaica, Queens. And so walking down the street, what you see, what you hear dance hall, you hear Afrobeat, you hear hip hop, you hear just a wide array of music in New York. But then that coming together in the sense of I actually moved from from New York to Florida because the school system was like, this kid is we can't take him, so we got to put him in this alternative learning center. And my mom, being the amazing woman she was, saw something deeper and bigger, and so moved me to Florida to get me out of my environment. And then that's when I sort of blossomed and realized I had these realizations of who I am. And one of those things is that I'm someone that has a lot of energy that needs to find rooms and places that are meant for that and are inviting to that. And two, that I had a lot of joy inside of me that I wanted to spread. And so middle school, high school, all I've ever wanted to do was be a teacher and help kids out and work with inner city youth and help the kids that I needed, that my little self version needed. So I was a teacher and a youth pastor as well. And then around 2014, I stopped doing both of those things for multiple different reasons. Long story short, I pivoted, didn't know where to pivot to. And this whole time, though, I was DJing just for fun, just like because I was just who I was, but I had my sights set on this other career. But then once I left those other two careers and I was just like sitting in my house and I was just like, what the hell do I do in my life? And whether it's God or the universe or intuition, just said, like, what if you just double down and focus on this thing that you're good at, but you just haven't focused on? And once I I think focus was the number one catalyst that gets me to the next level. It's like, once you just remove distractions. So that year I went from doing 20 weddings for my friends and people in my church and stuff like that to 75. And then I went to 100. So 2015, 2016, 2017. I'm like blowing up in my local area, Naples, Southwest Florida. 2018, I'm like, let's expand this shit. So then I started adding all the DJs, so on for so forth, and fast forward, here we are. So that's very long story short, but
No,
yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but I also went to FGCU.
Wait, what? Oh yeah,
Mhm.
2000.
Mhm.
I graduated 2000. What year did you graduate?
19. You were there before
19.
me.
Oh yeah. So 2013, as you know, big year. FGC goes to the Sweet 16. I do this song called Dunk City. I go viral before viral was a thing, and there's multiple times in my life where spotlights on me. Many little viral moments, where I'm like, man, like I feel like I'm meant to. It's weird to say, maybe sounds egotistical or self-centered, but like I'm meant to, do
Yeah.
something big for people to at a large scale spread joy and like to help people feel better. And I think
Yeah.
this is my little way. I'm not a heart surgeon or EMT, but I get to do this thing. But yeah, FGCU alumni in the building.
Yes, yes,
You know?
wings up. No, but you definitely have that personality that like you just spread joy every room that you walk in. And I think that it's funny how you were saying that like you always loved this, but it's like you didn't connect that it could be a career. And I feel like
No.
when people finally connect like what they love and kind of make it work as their career, it just explodes. When you love what you do, it's like you never work a day in your life, which is kind of a lie. I know you work really, really hard.
But it ain't worked though. Like it's just not work. Like it's so fucking cliche, but like, man, if you love it, what did that lady say? Don't love your job, job your love. Hey, you heard that? That's the worst. And it was funny when I made fun of that, and we all made fun of that little saying from that podcast. But like, I think she was on to something.
Yeah.
If you love this shit, like you do it for free. So ultimately, the money is extra. The money is like, oh, like it. And I'll say this with perspective, like it's a privilege to be able to say that. It's an absolute privilege to say that because there's a large amount of the world they don't get to do what they love and love
Mhm.
what they do and get paid for it and like all this thing of like alignment with what that's a privilege, bro. And because like I'm a son of immigrants from Nigeria
Mhm.
that had to do what they had to do, but
Mhm.
they came here to America to give me the opportunity and privilege to say, do what you love. Like, first off, if you're a Nigerian kid, you don't get to just do what you love. You have to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Mhm.
So the fact that I get to say like, oh, mom, I want to be a teacher, or I want to go be a DJ, or I want to go be a rapper, which I did. I've done a lot of different things. They're like, cool, and that's a privilege. So I'm super honored.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I actually heard this thing, like this TikTok this morning. I don't understand science. Don't quote me, but something about how the something in your brain that triggers anxiety is the same thing that triggers like gratitude. So you can only have like one or the other. And it was talking
Ooh,
about basically like if you fill your brain with gratitude, like it like physically can't have the anxiety.
yo,
Don't ask me science, but I literally like
uh,
I like before we hopped on
uh,
and I was like feeling anxious, I literally started writing in my journal like a gratitude.
uh,
I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. Like, and it's so true. It like hyped me up. And when I started thinking about like all the things I'm grateful for in this job, that's not even a job. It's my passion that I turned into making
uh.
money, and it's amazing.
My
So
therapist would call that reframing, right?
yes.
Reframing is like, I mean, there was a season of my life where I was just like, why me?
Hmm.
My mom had passed away 2011. My dad passed away 2 years later when I graduated from FGCU from a heart attack. And, over the years, I've struggled with like grief and like, how do I frame this? Like, man, like the universe sucks or God sucks. And, my therapist has always helped me reframe. He's like, well, considering all the diseases in the world that are always at bay, the viruses, it's actually like maybe it's a reframe to think like, wow, like it's actually a blessing to even be alive. Like think about the atmosphere and the fact that we're on a spinning freaking ball in the middle of the universe and that we somehow are alive and the only life that we know so far and I get to be alive in this time such as this. Like, and you bring that into perspective and you go, well, maybe, and I'm still dealing with this, but maybe I am a recipient of blessings and not a victim of the universe, right? Like maybe I'm a recipient,
I feel
of
like
that.
I've been in a funk this week. I needed this conversation. You're
Same.
pumping me up.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we're recipients of good things and not victims of bad things.
It's true. It's really true. And it's really easy to only focus on like the few bad things and forget all of the amazing things that like we
Ab-
do
ab-
have.
Absolutely, man. I'm working on I'm like super grateful. I got honored to be chosen to be speaking at Engage Maui in June.
I saw that.
And thank you. And I'm working on this talk, and I'm not giving too much away. Like I really do think our industry, there's a need to return back to joy,
Mhm,
you know, and reframing like our clients and reframing like our industry, bro. Like there's so much smoke and mirrors, and so like, did you get published? Are you in this circle? Are you in this fam trip? Did you get invited to this? Are you? And there's so many things, hoops to jump through, and so many things that motivate us. Like to be
mhm,
honest, like being published is a motivation that gets you to grind. Working with that planner is a motivation that gets you to get up and go grind and go do that thing for free or whatever. So there's some good to that in all the smoke and mirrors of the game, we say. But like there's also a need to return to the joy, the altruistic intention to serve people with joy.
mhm.
What
Uh-huh.
happened to that? What happened to that?
Yes,
Like why did we start this thing anyways? Because
yes.
you planned, or maybe you got married and then you were like, I want to do this planning thing because there was so much joy there. Or maybe you started taking photos because you just fucking loved it.
Mhm.
You love that feeling of like, look at this picture, and they're like, oh my God, I love it. Like, let's return back to joy, the joy of doing it. The
Yeah.
pay is joy, the
Mhm.
service is joy. And so I'm like, for the next year, I saw actually like we're not even a DJ company, we're a joy company. Like
There you go.
we sell and spread joy, and we get paid for it. So like I think we all do that in some way, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I think a lot of wedding vendors, like you said, like we started out in a different career that we didn't like and we turned our passion into something that we could make money on. And it's I have a book, Your Day, Your Way, and like
Ooh.
the tag is like how to plan the perfect wedding without losing sight of what really matters.
Hold up. This is your book?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. We're not gonna. Did you do that? What a flex! You just flexed on me. Like if you
It's
just
just kind of like tips and tricks for
nah, you
people
just
going into
flexed on me. Nah,
weddings.
nah, nah. I want a book. All right, I want a book too, bro.
Book, write
I
a
want a.
book.
I'll write a book, bro. Fuck that.
Um, no, but really, I like for couples, sometimes it's like, look, as a planner, I love the details and extravagant. Of course, I love it. But also, it's like so many of the client calls that I have, or even like I had a mom calling me and she's feuding with the groom's mom. And I'm like, whoa, this day is about love and joy and bringing two families together. Let's not
Mm,
cause a war over like a color of a napkin. And
mm.
as a planner who loves a big design and all of that, like I still like, can we not lose focus of like why we're here? And I think that with vendors, it's the same thing of like, okay, we're here because we have a passion, we love it, we want
Mhm.
to make people happy, and yes, we want to make money off of it. But like
But
here
money.
are patients too,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
obviously. But like I agree with what you're saying of like we gotta keep the joy in it.
yeah. Well, passion without profit is just an expensive hobby, right? So, like, I have an expensive hobby, golf. I play a lot of golf. I don't think I'm gonna ever make it to play at the Masters or anything. That's
No?
different than I have a passion that we are creative entrepreneurs. We get paid to create.
Yep.
This is different. So we create for the sake of creating, and then we introduce this. Someone sees what we Someone sees what we create and says, I want that. And you're like, okay. Okay, you could have it. And then now we started a business. We didn't even realize it. We're like, oh, should I get paid for this? And now the rest of our careers and lives is trying to figure out how to preserve this beautiful pearl that is
Mhm.
our creativity, while all these other outside factors, notoriety, fame, power, leadership, all these things can come into the pearl and break it apart, but our job is to keep the pearl sacred
Yeah.
while still making that money. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
so
Gotta find the
it's
balance.
yeah, the balance is tough. And balance is tough because it doesn't really exist. Like if you think about I used to skateboard as a kid, or if you think about surfing or even just standing on one foot, like like doing yoga, like balance is really like balancing. The act of balancing is literally like moving. You're readjusting, readjusting, readjusting. You're
Wait,
always readjusting when you're balancing, right? And so balance is really like this. It doesn't look pretty. Like you ever see me try to do a tree pose? Like that shit is like, so I think balance is overrated, but only because the perception of it is different. You think balance is like this, like just like,
yeah.
no, bitch. Like balance is like moving. It's
Hmm.
constantly adjusting to, the wind's blowing now. Now I got to put my body this way. Oh, wait, someone tried to push me. Now I got to lean that way. Like, and that's balance. Balance is
I
just
love that.
readjusting, refocusing,
I love
period,
that.
you know?
I love that. That's a really good way to think about it because you're right.
Yeah. Cause
It's
I've been trying for years to get that balance. I haven't found anybody with it and I haven't achieved it. So I'm done. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to keep falling off this skateboard.
But I think that's what you have to do. You have to be able to adjust and, move with things, which is also really important on a wedding day because it's
Yeah.
one day, it's crunch time, and there's going to be bumps in the road and you have to be able to adjust and make things happen. And I think that as wedding vendors, like we have to be able to, you know, go over those bumps and adjust ourselves to make sure that that day is still perfect for the client.
Yeah, man. I know. I feel like there's a lot of like dissension and division between like the vendor and the client lately, whether it's like transparency, pricing stuff, or like, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of division on like vendor versus the client. And
Mhm.
it's like, hold up. As much as this thing that we're doing what we love, right? The pearl, protect the creativity, like the pearl is only valuable. The pearl is valuable inherently because we created it, but the person on the other end that wants to buy that pearl sees the value and we have to serve them,
Yeah.
and like we can't forget about like it's about them. Like it just is. That's why I love me some Marriott. That's why I got all the Marriott points because any Marriott you go to, boy, that customer service, it's like, yeah, I needed 5 warm towels and I only got 3. Sir, we'll be right there. And it's like, it's just like they figure that other shit out later. Like they just make it happen for the client, for the
Yeah.
guests. And I really, I obsess over 5-star hotels because of the unreasonable amount of hospitality that they have, and I really try to get my DJs and my musicians and my staff on board with that because, man, like there's nothing like concierge white glove service. Like it's such a luxury, but like
Yeah.
I even when as a kid being broke, I've always been about luxury. Like I love I'm a tourist. Like
Oh, really?
I love luxury before I had it.
There you go.
Like I had $10 and I wanted to buy $100 pair of sneakers. Like that's just who I am. So yeah,
My dad owned a business for like 30 years. And one thing he always told his team was like, find a reason to say yes. Because he would get so frustrated at sometimes like his front desk staff or something would tell a customer no. Like they would ask for something and they would just be like, they would go to him and be like, hey, just letting you know, a customer asked for this, but don't worry. I told them no. And my dad was like, why'd you tell them no? Like if it's illegal or unreasonable, like, okay. But like, find a reason, find a way to say yes to the customer.
yeah,
Obviously, we can't always, but like find a reason to say yes. Find a reason to go above and beyond with the hospitality and that white glove service because it makes a bigger impact down the road than like we think.
yeah.
And
It
it's all
does,
about
man.
experience. I
It
do want
does.
to talk to you about growing your teams because I know that like calling you just a DJ is not fair. You have created such a beautiful team. So tell me about it. I know you have multiple DJs on your staff plus musicians. You guys do lighting. Tell me, how did you
Man,
do
make
this?
sure you cut me off if I go too long. This is my my favorite topic. And so you just I know you got you got your boy Miles on. You could just give me a little red light or some shit if I gotta shut up. But man, I all right, I'll say this. I love leading people. And I think you should only grow a team if you love leading people. And to me, simply leadership is enjoying the journey of seeing someone go from A to Z and loving that process, whether or not you get the credit.
Okay.
Helping someone get from A to Z and loving the process, whether or not you get the credit. You love it because you love to see people grow, period. You love to see things grow through people. You love seeing people be in their element on the right seat in the bus and getting that bus from this city to that city and back. That's leadership. And I think people start growing their business for money because they want more, they want to scale. They go, oh, well, if I had 10 more photographers, I can make 10 times. Well, guess what? When you bring those photographers on, those second shooters on, those other DJs on, those other florists, cake people, whatever, those people come with hangups, defects, egos, you name it. And so if you don't love that process, you're going to be stressed the hell out, tired, pissed off, resentful because of the process. You have to love the process of it. And so for me, I started off, I learned a lot about leadership through church, the whole world of church and like leading and like being on the worship team, being on the media team, being on the youth team, being on the children's team. That was my stomping ground to learn that, oh, like I'm a leader. People follow me. I like gathering people. I like calling out the thing I see in someone like, yo, you know, you could do this. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, yo, you could kill that. I love the art of calling that out. And so 2000, about 16, 17, I'm doing 100 weddings a year. Every call that I get when I'm already booked is like, hey, I'm already booked. I don't, you know, like, and I started getting the question like, well, do you have anybody else? Who do you? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, man, like, what if I started adding people? But my biggest thing is I'm also obsessed with my brand and execution and my process.
It's hard to like.
And I'm like, no one else can do it how I do it. Like, I got that. I got the secret sauce. Nobody else. And I'll say this to interject, like, as long as you only have the secret sauce, you're going to limit yourself. And sometimes, cool, be a one of one. I love that. No one can be Basquiat. No one can be Beyonce, right? But she had Destiny's Child, right? And so Beyonce had, you know, they're not Beyonce, but they have people like, you know, and so I say all that to say, I realized that I had a secret sauce, and not only was it unique to me, but I can find people, like I can't find another me, but over time I found out that there are reasons why planners and venues and vendors and clients love me, and I had to figure those things out, right? They love my energy. They love my customer service. They love my style. They love so I can take these 4 values and I can go and hire, train, and fire based off of those values. So find the secret sauce, identify those things, go out and find people that can at least embody 3 of the 5. You could train the other 2. Then when you hire them, if they can't get those other 2, that's when you got to fire them. You have to have like 3 to 5 non-negotiable values that you start to scale with. Find people with 3 at least, train the 2, fire if they can't get those other 2. Then you start firing yourself from things that you are really bad at, but is really important. That's my thing.
A lesson I've learned this year.
That literally find the most important thing in your business, pair it with what you're really bad at. If that's the thing, the compare and contrast little circles. If you're really bad at it and it's really important, get the fuck out the way.
Yep.
And
hired a book here this year.
Yes.
Because I
And
looked at taxes and said, I don't know.
I don't know. Tax Turbo ain't doing it. And so for me, it was admin, emails. I remember one of my favorite people, and he owns a venue in my town, Fort Myers, Jeremy. Uh, he's like one of the best business owners, entrepreneur minds I know. Um, he has a venue called the Heitman House and the Alderman House, but ultimately, I remember he said it, bro, it was back in like 2015, 16. He goes, Malik, you're like the best in this. You're like the best in town. He goes, but you don't answer emails and you're not on time. Yo, that killed me. That stung because he's like, bro, you're great, but like, and he named the things I wasn't good at, and he didn't do it on purpose. He just said it, and that made me go. For the next year, I tried to be like the best emailer ever, and I just sucked. I couldn't. I have ADHD, heavy, and so I hyper focus, and then I forget. And then I come back and I realize I forgot. And then the person's really mad. And so I was like, Malik, you got to get out the way. So I fired myself from any admin and emails, and it worked. The next year, everyone was like, wow, we love working with Malik because he executes and his process is better. Like, and then I loved working with the equipment. There's no better feeling than ordering a new DJ console, getting it, unboxing it. And so as I was in the warehouse, my warehouse, it was my garage. I was in my garage every week for hours, not hanging out with my wife or kids because I was working on equipment. And I realized I was taking too much time. So then I hired an equipment manager and for all production. And then I realized I was spending too much time on sales calls. And I loved selling. I could sell anything, feather to a bird, like I can do it. But I realized 20 calls a day is unsustainable and I have to be the CEO. And so I hired a salesperson. Then I realized I need, and so long story short, then I hired a content person. Now we have a staff of 8.
Yeah.
23 DJs. But that whole process is get out the way. Mm-hmm. Get out the way, fire yourself, and only do what you're good at, what you love, and what makes the company the most money, which is what being a CEO is. My job as CEO is to be the face, go get new business, I'm the pioneer. I'm headhunting. I'm putting us in new rooms. I'm finding us new frontiers. Mm-hmm. What if? I'm vision casting. I'm saying, here's where we are. Here's where we've been. Here's where we're going. Here's how we get there. Y'all ready? And I'm charging the team. And then I have Heather, who's operations, who's like,
love Heather. She's been so
Heather
nice.
is the lifeblood of our business because she keeps the team cohesivity.
Emails.
How do I say this word? Cohesivity. Cohesiveness. Whatever.
I get it.
Togetherness. She keeps us together. She keeps Brooke on logistics in line with sales, with Sharon, in line with production. Because if you think about a spaceship going to space, like everything needs to come together to get that ship into space. So we need to all be in one. Production, creative direction, logistics, everything needs to be together, and she keeps that together. So it's been like putting together a spaceship to go to Mars. Because if, like, you think about Challenger when it went up to space, one thing blew that spaceship up, and it was the air, too much oxygen in the spaceship. The mix of the hydrogen blew the ship up. Everything else is fine.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, like, I've just been on a journey of firing myself until all I can do is be CEO. And it's hard. It's fucking hard. But it's,
yeah. I mean, to stick with the spaceship analogy, like, okay, the successful spaceships, it's not just like the astronaut himself or whatever can't get the whole thing up there. It takes...
Yeah. The astronaut's almost irrelevant. The astronaut's like, yo, bro, like, you're just sitting in a fucking... The astronaut is damn near just like the branding for the spaceship mission. Like,
yeah,
take the pictures, be the face, throw the
Yeah.
little ball in the air. But like
Throw the
it,
ball there.
Houston, we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Down there at the base in
Mm-hmm.
Houston, they are the ones going, all right, return the thrusters on. Bro, you know, it's a team. When I go and DJ a 3-hour after party in the middle of nowhere at a castle in Ireland, and the success of that, the year that it took Brooke to onboard, Heather to nurture that relationship, well, Jaron to sell it, Jacob to find production in Italy, Brooke to month out, check all logistics, get me on my flight, my hotel, my transportation, call time, double check the timeline, make sure I'm there on time, make sure that, that took a whole NASA team,
Yep.
you know?
It does.
And
It does.
it does.
And that's even with, I mean, for wedding days from, the planner's perspective of, I don't think people's like, I have clients question pricing all the time. Why is that DJ so expensive? Why is the photographer so expensive? Why is everything so expensive? And I get it. It all is expensive, but I'm like, but you guys aren't seeing the team behind it. One of your DJs, it's not just like they roll up, unpack, play some music and goodbye. Listen to everything that you're saying. There's a whole team behind it and so much that goes on. But it's necessary for that outstanding result.
My DJs are astronauts.
Yeah.
They're really talented, educated in music, and people, high emotional IQ, can MC, can DJ, can turn up, but they're just there for the ride. Like we have a bass here that's getting you up in the air, bro, and making sure the thrusters are going, and making sure you land back in the water with the damn floaties and shit. Like I also, my ADHD like made me like hyperfixate on Artemis 2, and so I know a lot about space just because I've been like indulging in my algorithm. But like, my DJs, I make it from the start. I wanted it to be white glove from internally. Damn near, some people have said that I babysit my DJs because I make it sort of elementary, like all you got to do, because all my DJs like work full time. They're firefighters and music producers and like club DJs and radio people, and I wanted it to be like, show up, get paid to do the thing you are an expert at, and go home.
Yeah.
We got the rest. That's why I have a huge staff. People want to know why I have a huge staff, because we white glove our DJs just as much, and our talent just as much as we white glove the client and the planner and the vendors in the venue.
But it's so true. I mean, when you're able to show up and do your job and what you're actually good at and be able to focus on it, you're able to do such a better job. Like if your DJs had to worry about everything else going on, like they wouldn't be their best selves for, when that reception starts and when it's time to party, or, if they were stressed out about a million other things. But by you providing that white glove service to your own team, they're able to shine and do what they need to do best, which is when the spotlight hits them and there's a room full of people looking at them, they need to be on their game and not like, oh my gosh, I'm stressed about all this other stuff because Malike didn't like provide whatever he needed to provide. But as a result, like you're helping them, they do an outstanding performance, and now it's Curate was amazing. And it like comes back to you and your team has an outstanding performance.
It's like my boy told me, he's like, yo, my boy works for the he works for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and when they won a ring, everyone got a ring. When the Pittsburgh Steelers won, the janitor got a ring, the top front got a ring, the front decks, everyone gets a ring here. And it's mutually assured success or destruction. So we win together, we lose together. If my DJ goes out and messes up, is not on time, didn't play the right song, I don't even care if it's truthfully their fault. It's my fault. And it's Heather's fault. And it's Jacob's fault. and it's Brooke's fault, and it's it's the DJ's fault. But ultimately, the buck stops and starts at me, and so I'm always putting a mirror to myself. So
Mm.
feedback is my best friend, not my worst enemy.
Mhm.
And I welcome it. After every gig to every event we do, experience we create, we ask the planner, we ask the couple, how do we do? No, don't bullshit us. No. Specifically, from 1 to 5 on emceeing, from 1 to 5 on emotional IQ, on 1 to 5 on logistics awareness, 1 to 5 on mixing, 1 to 5 on. No. We want you to tell us, leave a note. Don't sugarcoat us. Because that information you give us is the most valuable thing. You have
Yeah,
to be if you're gonna do this in the long haul, you have to be obsessed with feedback.
yeah. It's how you grow.
Yeah, only way you grow. You don't literally. How do you know your breath stinks if no one tells you?
That's true.
And then 2-3 years later, you're like, bro, someone tells you, and you're like, wait, everyone I've ever talked to thinks my breath stinks, but no one's told me.
Yeah.
So
No, it's I like what you said about like if one person messes up, everyone messes up. I made a mistake a couple months ago and I saw on a rental thing that it said like setup included. And then in the small print it said like setup of chairs, but not like chargers. Something like that. Well, it's wedding day. The ceremony was at a Catholic church like an hour away from where the reception was. So my team was split in half. I was at the
mm,
church. I had other girls at the reception and they called me and they're like, "Hey, they won't set up like these chargers and blah blah blah." And I felt so bad because I did see like setup, but I didn't read the small print. And as a result, my girls had to set up a bunch of stuff and like break their backs over it because I was like, they were like, they dropped the stuff off and left. And on wedding day, you do what you have to do to make things just get it done, you know? But I felt so bad because it was my mistake of not reading it, but
mhm.
my team had to like deal with it because I was physically not there and I wasn't able to go do
Yeah,
it myself. And it was fine. It wasn't the end of the world. It was putting out chargers, but it was like a big wedding and they had, they didn't want to do
yeah,
it. It wasn't, they shouldn't have had to do it because of something I made messed up. It hurt them. And it's just like a big learning lesson. And as a leader of a team, it's really important to, you know, make sure
yeah,
that you're setting your team up for success.
yeah. Tell me one thing you get from blaming your team about something. Like, tell me one good thing you get from that. Like,
Nothing.
their morale is broken, their spirit is like, no, like, you know what, Heather? I should have built a better system, or we should have talked about this, and that's on me. But at the same time, this is also on you. And it's not about blame. We are solution focused. This is how our team works. We say with our team and our staff, you have to have amnesia about your failures. You need to absolutely forget the failure, but you need to absolutely obsess and remember the solution.
Yeah.
If you are on our team and you fuck up, especially like when you first come around with us and you're just like self-loathing, oh man, I'm the worst. You're not going to last because we move. Like, we move. Okay, this happened. What now? Let's go. What's the solution? I don't need you to sit there and lick your wounds. Pour some bourbon on that thing, put wrap a tourniquet, get back in the game, get back in the war. Let's go. I don't care about problems. Like, problems, we all got problems.
Hmm.
I want a
Growing
solution-oriented
for
team.
someone who has problems to bring, like,
Yeah,
we
like,
don't have time for that.
yeah. Well, and we don't because we're trying to move forward. But at the same time, we are a very human team. And we also know that, wow, like, you're a human. And hey, you know what? I know how you feel. That sucks. But we don't feel that about you. We don't feel that you suck. We don't feel that you're a piece of shit. I know you feel that. So How about this? Right now, know that we love you. You're inherently valuable. Nothing has changed that value. Now, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Get up and let's go, because we don't hate you. We're not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
pick your fucking head up and shoot the ball again. You ever watch? I watch. It's playoff season right now, and you watch. I'm a Knicks fan, die hard till the day I die. Right. Another day, they pass it to Anunoby. Boom. He shoots a 3-pointer, bricks it, misses it. We get the rebound. They pass it back to him. He shoots it again. He misses it. Ends up running down the other side of the 3-point line. We get the ball back. They pass it to him again. He makes the 3. It's trust.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been in practice for 4 seasons. We know who you are. We know you can make the shot. You just got to find the right flow. I'm gonna keep passing you the ball. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna make the shot. You don't miss, and then I go, hey, I'm not passing you the ball. No, that's what you do when you play pickup basketball and you don't know the person. You're like, oh, I'm never passing you that ball again. But we've been in the trenches. We've been practicing. We've won and lost games together. I know you can make this shot. I'm gonna pass it to you a third time. You make it. Boom. That's our team, you know?
No, and I love that. Because like when I'm like, we don't have time for your problems, there's just a time and place. It's like when one of my girls on my team, like I can tell when they're having a rough day, it's kind of like pull it together. And when we sit back for our vendor meals, like when we have time to rest later, tell me all about it. And I'm looking for you. Honestly, I haven't even said this on the podcast yet, but I went through a divorce at the end of last year. And the week that I left my husband, like 3 weeks in a row, I had big weddings. Boom, boom, boom. And it was horrible, but my clients had no idea. No idea. When the ceremony started, I told once I got that bride down the aisle, I told my assistant, stay here in case anything happens during ceremony. I went to the bathroom. I cried on the toilet, wiped those tears, and we were shining.
Bro, come on. Game face. It's showtime. It's showtime.
Exactly.
Time and place. We're backstage. We're in the green room. I can cry. I can die. I can hate my life. Yo, when that curtain rolls out, we're here.
We're here.
And you know, I think every industry feels that, but our industry is so joy oriented and service oriented and shit. My job, I'm the life of the party.
Yeah, you are.
So whether I'm physically sick or ill or mentally struggling, I have to show up with
a smile.
Yo, the other day, I had the worst flu I've ever had. It was day 2. I didn't even know it was the flu. I had fever, chills, body aches, runny nose. I mean, I felt dead. I did 2 back-to-back weddings. Mm-hmm. And you would have never fucking known.
I
you know, like
Arizona, and I was so excited. It was like in Sedona. It was beautiful. I was throwing up all night. I had a fever. It was awful, but that bride had no idea.
Bro, it's man, because you could also like work in like a factory, and if you're having a bad day, you could be like, just keep to yourself. No one has to talk to you. So that laborious job, which has its own downside, like is a different beast. But the beast we have is, how can I help you?
It is.
Even when you're dying inside.
Back to what we were talking about in the beginning of like, we love it. We love it. And it drives us and it pushes us, and there's pros and there's cons, but we love it, and it's our heart and our passion, and we make it happen like rain or shine.
And the cool part is it loves us back, right? Like our industry loves us back. It gives back to our family, our lives, and it loves us back in a way, and we love it. And then there's times where it doesn't love us back. Someone screws us over, client hates us, or we hate it. We don't love it back. We're like, I'm done. You know, sometimes you get to probably every March, I'm like, or April, like first week of April, I'm like, I hate my job. Like, I hate this. Like, I don't wanna I don't wanna even listen to music. Like, I
Yeah.
get to that place where I'm, like, burnt the fuck out from this thing. Like, I've done this for 6 months straight. Fuck everything and everybody. Like, that's how I feel sometimes. And then you just need, like, a moment to step away, remember why you love it, and then you're like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever." Like, "Holy
Mhm.
shit," you know? And so you need that. You need step away time. You need to hate it for a little bit. You need to
Yeah.
it's like that. Speaking of like divorce and stuff, like there's that time in the relationship where you're like, man, like I love you, but I don't like you right now, bro. You know, like, and you have to see if it's meant to be, and you have to see if you're really meant for each other. And sometimes it doesn't work out, and sometimes it does. But it's that feeling of like we're out of the honeymoon phase right now.
Yeah.
You know, like we got to figure this shit out. And if I really love this thing, I'm gonna stick with it. And if it really loves me back, it'll stick with me. But like, bro, the ebb and flow of this thing is tough, man. It's not for the faint of heart, man.
That's true.
You know, it's
It's
not for
true.
the faint of heart. It's very much so like a marriage.
Yeah,
It is very much so.
it is.
I don't think anything's harder than marriage, but it's very much so like a marriage.
No, I mean, this industry is a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding at the same time. And I think it takes a special person, a special type of person to be in it. I feel like I could talk to you for literally all day,
I
but
know.
I'm watching the clock. I'm like, oh shit, we've been talking already a long time.
Yeah.
But I do ask everyone, this is a hard question. I do ask everyone that's on my podcast, do you have any wedding day horror stories?
Oh yeah, I do. I do. I usually draw blanks, but I feel like I save this one for like questions like this. Um, Casa Marina, Key West, maybe a year and a half ago. It was a surgeon groom.
I know exactly what you're talking
You
about.
know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm the photographer or the plant I
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You know what I'm
someone
talking
told
about.
me that.
Ivy. Was it Ivy? Who is it? I forgot the photographer. But Peg. Maybe I shouldn't give away too much information because you could find the wedding. But Casa Marina, Groomzilla, Dope Bride, Bride's family, old money, New York, upstate. Groom's family, middle class. He was a surgeon. First thing he says to me when I see him, he starts throwing F bombs and N words and R words and all like he's just wild. Grooms are already shit faced drunk. Bride is pissed off. Doesn't even want to come out for ceremony. Ceremony finally happens. Grooms in the ceremony altar. Officiant announces the groom to like stand right here. The groom says, I know where to stand. I'm not retarded. You could bleep that out too if you don't want to put it. And everyone's just like, oh my god, like what? Ceremony goes out. Everyone's at cocktail hour. I'm kind of like about to transition over to cocktail hour and reception. Groom finds me by himself. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, let's go to the bar. Like not the cocktail bar. Grabs me, headlocks me, dropping like 5 N words in a row. Just like wild. He shows up to cocktail hour, no shirt on, belly out. Bride's family is ashamed. Groom's family is awkward, ashamed. It's like, how is this happening? Bride doesn't even want to talk to the groom. We get to reception. She doesn't want to do a first dance with him. It's almost like she was repulsed by him. It's almost like they weren't
As
even
she
like,
should be. I'm
oh,
sorry.
it,
As she
it,
should be.
it, bride's parents apologizing to me. Groom's friends are like, this is what he does. Da 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 da. I'm like, yo, why is she getting married to him? Then at the party, all he wanted to do was sing Pink Pony Club with the band. Band was like, no, you know, because he was so shit faced. He kept going up to the singers and getting close to the girls, and he kept taking the mic, and he kept being like belligerently aggressive with people, with me, his friend. He had like a handler, like he had a best friend that his job was to make sure he didn't do anything crazy. the cops are about to get called. The cops are actually like on deck, like, and I decide to intercept this groom and make him my best friend for the rest of the night. So I just said, "You stay with me," and he just stayed with me. The band's playing. I'm just with him. I'm making sure he doesn't go up to the band. I'm making sure he doesn't go into the water. I'm making sure he doesn't touch any. He just, my energy of like non-judgment, I felt like took away his craziness. And so
Yeah.
people at that point, people were like, Malik, you're the only reason why the cops haven't like walked up in here. You're the only reason, like by the end of the night, everyone, caterer, bartenders, everyone like thanked me because I was just like being a FGCU student, college kid, like I know what it's like to have the bro go absolutely belligerent and not make sure you don't trigger him. Just like, yeah, bro, come over here, come over, like. And so I don't know. I have that like intuition, but it was crazy. I mean, I didn't even tell you everything, but like wildest groom I've ever had in my life. I
Uh,
don't know how.
that we don't have to name names on here, but I forget one of the other vendors that was there. I forget who it was, content creator or something, but
Hmm.
I remember them telling me about this, and that's crazy. I mean,
It was wild. It was wild. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of my, but I enjoyed it. I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed it because I feel like I was the right person for the job. Does
yeah,
that make
and I love
sense?
when I ask people about horror stories of like it's like yes, the horror it's like kind of crazy and fun to hear, but it's also really important of like what'd you do about it? Like
Yeah.
how do we solve this and how do we make it better for that poor bride who's like upset? I don't know how much better it could have gone, but at least like you're like let me befriend him right now
Yeah.
and try
Yeah.
to
Well,
be
he needed someone that wasn't gonna trigger his craziness, to be honest.
He
And
was on drugs.
what was that?
Do you think he was on drugs?
I don't know. I think he is an absolute egomaniac of a person, and when you drink and probably do drugs, that brings it all out. But I've never seen anyone like unglued how he was. You just couldn't stop him. So it was like that drunk, wrong and strong at the same time. It's just like, bro, you are on one, bro.
That's crazy.
But
Um,
yeah,
all right, I hate to wrap this up, but I'm going to have to here soon. But I want to get some of your final thoughts and tell me, like, if people want to find you, tell me about, the services that you offer, where they can
yeah,
find you, and what locations you serve.
yeah. Well, simply put, if you want to find me on a dance floor
There you go.
with a good bourbon or old fashioned in my hand. Um, if you need our services, we are not a DJ company. We are a joy company, and we offer joy as a service, which so happens to be through DJs, bands, hybrid musicians. Um, and we want you to feel after you've interacted with our company or experienced us, we want you to feel joy. We want you to feel loved. We want you to feel seen. We want you to feel like you just left the most tasteful, high energy experience you've ever had. And if you want to know what we sound like, we sound like good taste. So that's our vibe. And Instagram, Curate Entertainment _entertainment, and then mine is DJ Malik. And if you like really tasteful, fun energy and parties, and you absolutely hate cheesy shit, then come follow us and come to the party.
Yes. Go look at his Instagram, take a look at his fashion, and then it'll give you an
Come
insight
on.
what
Come on. Come
crazy
on.
this is.
Thank you so much for having me, girl. Like,
Thank you so much. I'm so glad
appreciate
that
you.
we got to join. I don't meet other like FGCU is a small school, so
Come
every
on.
alumni, I'm like,
The
yes,
birds, the birds.
the birds. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you on. I really, really appreciate it. This was such a fun conversation. I feel like we could talk for 5 more
Yeah,
hours, but
absolutely.
time just goes by fast when you're
I
having.
know. I know. Thank you so much for having me, girl. Appreciate you.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
All right. Peace, peace.
Bye.
Bye.